I have kept some video, it is the best one. I request every student from the class to just focus on this, and at least you can share me the link saying, sir, this video is better compared to your video. Okay, if it is good or better than me, so then we can go and proceed with that video also. So it's not one-way traffic, it will be an interaction, because you guys are already already in 4-1. So you must be able to do the project works easily and all the things. If you can do the project like our project, it can be kept in your the major project also. It will be easy for you to understand. Okay. So next one is the unit 4. Unit 4, we can see we are having the syllabus of geothermal sources, and also the next one is the biomass, and also biomass we are reading it from the 8th class or 6th class onwards. How from waste gas and also waste particles or the waste we are producing some gas or some form of energy, and also what is the different types of energies we are going to use, like that we are going to see that one. And also here we can see that the nature of thermal resources. Here we are going to discuss about what is the definition of it and what is the classification of it. And next one is utilization for electrical generation and direct heating. And also what are the basic features, atmospheric exhaust and condensing exhaust types and conventional steam turbines. So next, coming to the biomass, and also here biomass important point or the main notation is pyrolysis. What is meant by pyrolysis, and also what is the purpose of the chulhas, and also what is the constructional details of the gas fire. And this biomass is very easy for us to understand, because from 6th class or from 8th class from the schooling, we are having the diagrams of biomass and all the things. So here the main focus will be on the geothermal sources, because geothermal we are very new to the topic, and also we must understand the topic very easily by seeing the videos, and also those videos will be shared by me. And the last topic is unit 5. We are going to unit 5. Here we are having the ocean energy. We call it as completely as ocean energy. Ocean means we'll having waves, we are having tidals, and also we are having waves, tidals, and OTEC, ocean thermal energy conversion. And here we must understand what is meant by wave and also what is meant by tide. What is the difference between this, and also how we are going to extract the power. What are the principles of wave, tidal, and also classification of this we are going to deal with. The next one is what is OTEC power plant, and also here we can see that one small cycle experimental facility. And also here we must be able to do in the unit 5, while creating the waves we must do one project, while creating the tides we must do one project. How we are going to create that wave in our home, we must be able to explain that, and also we'll be taking care of that one in the unit 5 at the last stage. So here what are the environmental impacts of OTEC, and also what is the status of multiple product of OTEC systems. So these are the topics we are going to deal with, and officially the textbooks are Ashok V. Desai and Ashok V. Desai, the non-conventional energy textbook by Willie Easton Limited, New Delhi. And next one is the Mittal KM. So these two are the textbooks we are having for the non-conventional energy sources, and I request everybody, it is easy to get the data from the net, not from the textbook. This time we can tell those textbooks can be used as only the references part only. So most of the topics will be covered from the net, and also because the textbooks we can't get the latest data, like stating from 2015, or the textbook is published at 2015, so we can't get the latest data. Instead of that one, we must or at least we have to go through the net, and also we must also learn, the student also must learn this topic. Even I will be guiding you by the links and the PPTs, and also I will be sharing this PPT with you all, so that each and every point is mentioned very clearly. What is the video is best video, we can get that one. Okay. And also this is the syllabus. I think everybody will get the clear picture, and also don't get afraid as if this is a mechanical subject or something which it will be very difficult. As I mentioned you earlier in this video, stating that the minimum pass percentage is 90, and also maximum will be 100, and also 90 also if at least 1 or 2% didn't attempt the exam, like that only. If you are writing the exam, and if you are writing, and at least you are focusing at least the minimum, if you are watching video, so that you can write your own answer. The answer cannot be fixed. The technical content and the logic will be the same, because some standard answers will be there for some questions like this, so we must write like this only. No, it's not we can get the similar meaning of it in your own way. So suppose I am going to define like RES is like this. RES is some 15 words I'll tell. Those 15 words exactly cannot be replicated in the exam. The own form, what you understood of the statement, you can write on your own, so that you will get the marks for that also. But the logic we must not miss, and also we must not miss the sense. So for solar, suppose you are writing the wind, it is a blunder. And for wind, you are writing the solar, it is a blunder. So it cannot be like that. For solar, if you are writing anything relevant to that one, and also if it is relevant to the power generation, or if it is relevant to the basic principle, basics must not be changed. So you can write on your own. The diagrams are mandatory. Even the matter is very less, but the diagrams must speak a lot. And also what you understood, you can draw in a pictorial way, so that it will be easy. And also if somebody is asking you to classify, and also just draw the classification table, it will be easy. And also write one page of what is what. Okay, wind energy is this much, like solar energy is this much. So like that, we are going to get all the pictures and all the things means. So your paper or the final content will be extraordinary, and also you'll get the marks. And also please don't mind that I'm saying that writing 4 to 5 pages of per one question doesn't mean you are writing everything. It means you are technically strong. You may be writing in 2 pages also, but you are technically strong. It can be showed in the form of the figure and the writing of the main points. What is this deals with? This deals with this. This is the application. This is the drawback. So this we can overcome with this. So that also solves the problem. And in NCS, you'll get the marks for writing like that. But sir, you said to write minimum. I have mentioned the point like that. Don't go too extreme, or at least don't go too less. At least medium is enough for this particular topic. That's what I want to tell. If you're writing 2 pages effectively, so you'll get 10 out of 10. So if you're writing 5 pages, but the content, the main points will be there in that particular topic. If it is missing, obviously you'll not get the 10 out of 10. So suppose you may ask me like that the student has written 2 pages only, sir, he got so he got 10 out of 10, but I have written 5 pages, I got only 6 marks or 7 marks. But the main technical point is missing. That's the reason I didn't give marks. That is my answer will be there. Okay, coming to the next slide. Today we'll see what is the energy, and also what are the various energies. We can see it here. So here we can see this classification. If you can see the pictorial views, it will be easy for us to remember even in exam point of view. So here you can see this one. We are having 2 different types of energy sources. One is the renewable energy, and the next one is the non-renewable energy sources. First one is the wind, hydropower, solar, geothermal, biomass, as discussed already with you, and the renewable energy is called as non-conventional energy sources. Next one is non-renewable energy or the conventional energy: oil, coal, nuclear, natural gas. Oil is nothing but the petrol or the diesel or the kerosene what we are using right now, and these are the various energy sources we are having. So this is the basic concept of our non-conventional energy sources. So it's not like that first day only SR is dumping everything, and also first day SR must give introduction, and also we must get familiar with the topic. So that's the reason I'm stopping this class now. And also I just want you guys to go home and also just give some do some homework of your own choice. Please find the definition of RES. What is meant by RES? Or at least anyone can tomorrow and also unmute yourself in the class and tell me, sir, this is the definition of RES. And also it cannot be the same, because in the net we can see plenty of definitions of RES. So exactly what is the logic behind RES is important for us. Okay, clear? So tomorrow homework is what is the definition of RES, what are the limitations of RES. So again the topic will be covered. So tomorrow topic is definition of RES and next limitations of RES, and also what is the criteria for assessing the potential of the potential of non-conventional energy sources will be covered in the coming classes. This is the main reason why I have given you the syllabus way ahead, because at least one in the class can get prepared or at least understand what is the topic. And also I request everybody of you, so if you are very strong in the topic or something, if I am teaching in the class like something, I may not be prepared in the class like that, and then if you are prepared, you can ask the faculty, sir, this topic is wrong. So I request every student to prepare the topic well, and also come in advance, because I am giving all the topics well in advance. And also it is an open source material, we can available in the Google also. So at least EC 4 sections, one student, 4 students will come up. And also so if the students are interested and passionate to learn something, and if the class is very attentive, the faculty can deliver 100% with maximum efficiency. So I can't tell 100%, we can go for the maximum efficiency. And also if you keep asking the doubts, the faculty will become prepared by the next day, and also he will improve his efficiency levels. So suppose the class is not active enough, and also they are okay like that. So first day onwards, slowly the graph of the faculty will come down, because nobody is questioning and also nobody is telling, because everything is good. But and also you're understanding the topic or you're not listening the topic, we don't know. So if you're understanding the topic, we must be able to do the project. So this course I am trying to implement as a project-based learning course, so that we can do one project for each. So every student want to do, it's your wish. It's not mandatory, it's not forcing somebody to do it. Okay. So right now I'm ending the topic, because in the active learning session we must not go beyond 20 minutes. Let it be any topic as per the active learning, and also in IUC as an IAECP certified faculty, I know what exactly it means. Because this doesn't mean that if I keep on delivering something for 50 minutes, that means you understood everything. We must ensure that faculty must ensure not only what he is teaching, he must ensure how much percentage the students have learned in his class, how much percentage of students understood the topic. That is the main, or it must be the main outcome for the faculty. And also not only that I have come up and I told everything extraordinary up to 50 minutes, but very few percentage of students understood. It must not be like that. At least the class is short and sweet, and also very effective, and also very efficient. So this is my logic. So if any suggestions, or if you want me to go slow or anything, you can inform me again in the class tomorrow. All the best. Thank you all. Tomorrow do the homework and come back. Yeah, thank you all.